Hear these two words, it brings a negative connotation. You instantly have judgments about what the words mean and how it is portrayed in our society. What are the words, you ask? Hip hop. Hip hop culture is sort of looked down upon, especially in this day and age. This generation of artists are taking hip hop, interpreting it into their own way, and in the end, giving it a bad name. I quote, "Rap music and the hip hop culture seem to be fixated on the messages of sex, violence, and harsh language." Unquote. I got that from a website from recent 2000. In this speech, I will inform you of the true meaning of hip hop and what it stood for back in the day and bring a culture and art into a new light. When we first think of hip hop, violence, sex, and drugs come into play, and that is a false interpretation of what hip hop really means and how it originated in the 1970s in the Bronx, New York. First, I will explain what hip hop actually stands for and how it was integrated into everyday life. Next, I will go into detail of the main elements of hip hop and some of the added pillars. Lastly, I will show you how hip hop has changed in this generation and what can be done to fix it. Hip hop is actually an acronym. Do you know what each letter stands for? Hip hop was originally a peaceful culture, and the acronym portrays the true meaning of it. Hip hop stands for higher inner peace, helping other people. You would never know that by the way the culture and music is portrayed nowadays. Back in Arizona, my hip hop instructor, who was also the leader and founder of the dance crew I danced with, Foot Clan, he would talk about how hip hop culture used to be. He would always say, quote, "Hip hop is a movement which lost its peace." This is from Daryl Khaled. Back in the day, instead of fighting each other to settle an argument, you took it to the streets, which was your dance floor, and had a dance battle. Once there was a winner of the battle, both dancers would shake hands afterwards, and that's how arguments were settled. No blood was drawn, no bruises, no hospital visits. It was a respectable way to argue and fight, so to speak. Now in this day and age, people are so quick to fight and put their hands on someone else. When I was dancing with my crew, some arguments got taken to the dance floor, but would still end in an actual fist fight due to improper dance battle etiquette. Every dance battle has an etiquette to give proper respect to the other person. One rule is that you cannot touch your opponent, as that is seen as offensive. One night in 2013, this is speaking from self-experience, I was out with my crew in a club in Scottsdale, Arizona. We knew rival crews were going to be there, but we spread the true meaning of hip-hop, so we are a peaceful dance crew and don't look for fights. We witnessed a member of one dance crew and another member of a different dance crew get into a heated argument. They decided to be good about it and try to take it to the dance floor and settle the argument that way. Well, one guy of one dance crew was wearing a hat, and the other, his opponent, thought it'd be funny to take his hat and throw it on the floor. So the guy who was originally wearing the hat was offended, found that offensive, and felt disrespected. So what he ended up doing is pushing him and putting his hands on him, even though the guy did it first. So the guy who got pushed was not liking that and ended up trying to punch him in the face. They both got kicked out of the club because violence is not okay. So, let's see, this goes to show that once peaceful culture was thrown out the window. Hip-hop used to stop violence instead of start violence. Not only is hip-hop a dance style, the culture involves the music, fashion, art, the sense of brotherhood, and so much more. Did you know that there are four main elements of hip-hop? Hip-hop culture is based off these elements, but is so much more than these different art forms. The first element, in no particular order, is graffiti art. The second is DJing. Now, DJing is a skilled art form which takes a lot of practice. In this generation, some DJs who have the equipment set up a planned playlist on their laptop and hit the play button and call themselves a DJ. That really is a shame to the true art form. A true DJ would practice all day and night to get their skills on point. Our dance crew DJ and a well-known DJ in the West Coast is DJ Ruthless Ramsey. He creates his own mixes, scratches on his turntables, and even can scratch on tape cassettes, which is a dying art form. He would also say, quote, "All these kids wake up one day and decide they want to be a DJ and think they are accomplishing it by hitting one button on their laptop," unquote. He was ashamed that people thought they earned the title of a DJ this way. Another element is breakdancing or b-boying. The names are coined by DJ Kool Herc, who was an up-and-coming DJ in New York in the 1970s, where hip-hop actually all started. He noticed all the dancers would get on the dance floor during the instrumental break or the interlude of the songs. So DJ Kool Herc would extend the breaks of each song, and he ended up calling the dancers breakdancers. Now, MCing is the final main element of hip-hop, which is also known as rapping. Kool Herc, other DJs, and even other people developed what we now know as MCs. They would, quote, talk over the music to promote their DJ, promote their dance parties, take lighthearted jabs at other lyricists, or talk about problems in their areas and issues facing the community as a whole, unquote. Other pillars of hip-hop were added, including beatboxing, hip-hop fashion, and more. Beatboxing was a hip-hop movement that broke from the machine-oriented DJs replicating their sounds and breaks with the human vocal apparatus. That was a quote I found from Wise Geek on an online article. Now, what do you think of when you first hear the words hip-hop? Hip-hop is given a bad name in this generation, and hip-hop is constantly changing and evolving. We need to make it more positive like it used to be. Hip-hop was used to keep people away from violence, drugs, and the dangerous past of being in a gang. In today's world and society, hip-hop is known for fighting, killing, drug use and selling, and the degrading of women, sex, and using harsh language. Everyone is in competition with one another and backstabbing others for their own personal benefit. Brotherhood is lost and is replaced with every man for himself. When you hear a hip-hop or rap song, there is curse words left and right, calling women degrading names, seeing them as property. Back in the day, lyricality was everything. You weren't dope or have street cred if you saw them unless your lyrics were on point. The words were also positive and uplifting, which is not like today. The beats were good to dance to, and the lyrics told a good story that people wanted to hear. Now these talented artists are putting horrible and offensive lyrics to a good beat, and everyone loves them. They become famous over creating negative music. All these false interpretations of hip-hop culture and art is what gives it a bad name at the end of the day. Hip-hop is the beauty to be yourself and express yourself artistically. We need to remember the acronym of what hip-hop actually stands for and bring back the peaceful movement and culture it once was. Instead of tearing people down, we need to lift everyone up. If we shift towards this mentality, hip-hop could lose a lot of its negative judgments. In closing, hip-hop should bring a culture together, not tear it apart and hurt others. When you think of hip-hop, instead of judging so quickly because of what this generation has done to it, think of the good that it originated from. Think of what hip-hop literally stands for, what the acronym is, and do something about it, live by it. See the beauty and art form in the four main elements of hip-hop, plus the pillars as well. Know this generation is a paradigm in the hip-hop culture and change will come. Once knowledge spreads on the true meaning of hip-hop, the culture can be restored and also keep evolving. I'll leave you with this quote. Hip-hop is so much more than mere art and entertainment. Hip-hop is the constantly evolving spirit and consciousness of urban youth that keeps recreating itself in a never-ending cycle, unquote. We need to switch the cycle now and recreate it into something better and more positive. Thank you.